Today we're going to break down one of my favorite drills I've utilized with athletes for a long time, and it's called the scramble drill. It's a little bit unique, but it can be a lot of fun for younger kids. What you're going to do is you're going to grab 5 cones and you'll space them out according to level of athlete. If they're really young, you'd only need about 4 to 5 yards apart. If they're a little bit older, you can stretch the distances a bit, but there's a couple unique attributes to this specific drill that when you're rolling kids around in it, they have an awful lot of fun. You'll start in the middle, you'll strap on your Kbands. We'll get to that in a little bit of what they're going to help you with, but generally it's going to focus tremendously on hip flexors. The Scramble Pro is all about hip flexor strength and then change in direction as fast as possible. So you'll notice in the clips that we're dropping in, you'll raise your knees and you're almost in a kind of a cone tap mentality. You're trying to tap on top as fast as you can in exchange. And then as soon as the coach or trainer tells you which way to go, it's going to bring in a bit of a reaction element. You'll sprint to whichever cone, touch the line, touch the cone, get back to the middle, and you'll be tapping again.
Is there a point where maybe the cones are too far apart?
You want to keep things pretty quick. So if you've ever run a pro agility or your shuttle run, more or less about 10 yards is about all the farther you're going to get before you start striding out.
So it's more explosive in a burst.
Yeah, we're coming into a short window of agility is what we're looking for, because the tremendous focus is going to be on tapping in the middle. So you're going to try to move your feet as fast as possible in the middle, and the ones on the edges are simply going to be as a touch and go. Change it up a little bit, get a little bit of conditioning with our agility work, but generally that's going to be the setup.
Are you doing maybe like 15 seconds, so many reps?
Yeah, good question. So anytime you're doing this type of a drill, you kind of want to keep everything a little bit less than 20, 30, 35 seconds, depending on the athlete's age, because you want it to stay ballistic. So if you see the athlete run out and touch a cone and they're on the 3rd touch and they get back and their feet are starting to move slow as molasses, as the coach, as the trainer, as the dad, you should be looking at that and saying, okay, we're probably going to do just 3 touches, and then bring that endurance, that speed endurance up just a little bit and see if we can maintain that 3. We might work a 4 in at the very end of the workout just to see if we're getting better, or maybe the next time we come to it. But the moment at which the feet start moving slow as molasses on the taps in the middle, that's kind of when we need a break, because you're trying to be ballistic. That's the whole point. Moving as explosively as possible during speed training is really the only way you're going to get results. You can't just pretend to be fast. You have to be fast. You have to train fast. So in this specific exercise, keep the sets nice and short, and then adjust accordingly to age group and or fitness level. If the speed continues to stay at a high level, you can add in more touches. But change the directions too. You don't
want some rotation, change the direction. Are we going a certain, so do a 360?
Yeah, use the reaction element of it. So when they come back to the cone, they're going to come straight in, break down, and move into tapping. Have to make sure that you have explosive arms. A lot of times, younger athletes, you'll notice their arms don't really work with them too awful well. So whenever you're doing high knees and things with a kid that's 10 and under, all of a sudden their arms just don't move. You as a dad, a coach, a trainer, you need to be telling that kid, hey, arms, get them moving.
Well, I think they think of speed as just my legs.
Yeah, leg. And especially with Kbands on, your hip flexors will be burning. Your legs are going to get a lot more activation. So it seems as younger athletes, the focus is really just in the legs. But you've got to maintain good arms, and then you want to mix it up. So you'll say forward, backwards, right, left, and just make sure that you're you'll see when you get a younger kid.
I can see how that would make it fun.
Yeah.
So and a lot of people are always asking me, what are the bands doing? You're adding these in a lot of your drills, so tell me about it.
Well, the nice thing about Kbands is you can do the sport-specific motion and agility drills just as you would do without them. That's the biggest benefit. If you strap on some kind of a mini band, they're going to move all over the place. They're going to pull your hair. They're going to go up and down. You can't run in them. So the major benefit is being able to do sport-specific motions with resistance. Hip flexors are proven to be one of the major components to sprint speed. Glute strength and other things apply as well, but if you were looking at a tiered list of what should be very strong, hip flexors is near the top. So when you're going through a drill like this, we've specifically targeted a high knee movement over a cone. And the reason for that is we want our hip flexors strong and explosive. You need to stretch them a lot to get full range of motion, but you also need to train them for strength and ballistic movements, right? So if you notice in the drill, that's how it's designed. It's designed to where when you come in, we're going to focus on hip flexor strength and really start building that fast, explosive power off the ground. And then we're going to transition into a sport-specific movement. You've got to run. In what sport do you just stand in one place? There are none.
You're getting all that resistance muscle activation while you're moving, not just in a stationary position.
Right. So the beginning piece of the drill is going to be your hip flexor movement. And now what you'll also feel is even when you move lateral or you are accelerating to a cone for a touch, the interesting thing is you've got resistance coming inward. So you'll notice that your glutes begin firing more. What it does is it makes you more stable. As you're going to these cones and you touch them and you come back, younger athletes kind of lose their center of gravity. As they hit their growth spurt or they're just not quite strong, what always seems to happen is the hips become weak because everything's growing. So if you wear Kbands during movements like this, what's nice is we've seen over and over years, we've been doing this since 2010, that these athletes quickly get their center of gravity back. Their glute strength builds quickly because you're moving through resistance, doing the agility drills you were already going to do. And you can have a little bit of fun mixing it up like this, and you're getting a lot of different benefits. Center of gravity, hip flexor strength, and also building your glute. So
I think that center of gravity doesn't get enough attention. Every sport is, I may be moving to my left and I immediately got to stop or change to my right, stop and go, all those different things that I think this drill really helps you accomplish.
We want to do things that are specific to movements you're going to do in sports. Of course, weight training is going to help you, but how does a back squat really help you become a better defender in basketball? Having better agility, moving laterally quickly, adding some resistance to it, that is going to give you a little bit better translation for speed being a defender than being able to do a heavy back squat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we utilize Kbands to target unique exercises for athletes of all ages to help build their hip flexors and put them through unique situations that really pair up well with sports. So the Scramble Pro or the Scramble drill here, I'm a big fan of it. I think it adds a lot of variety, and if you're looking for different types of drills to challenge your athletes, the Scramble drill is one of the best.
And it's fun.
And it's a good time, yeah. If you need a set of Kbands or some more unique drills, head to kbandstraining.com. I've got all types of videos there like this one that can help you with some drill variety as well as some resistance training equipment to help you achieve your goals.